This is the Pearl-fection trophy. I tried to keep these in order by the main campaign. You'll face a Spirit Eater right out the get-go, but Paige gives you step-by-step instructions, so just listen to him and you should be fine. The next boss you face is the DomZ Serpent when you leave Mama Ghost for the first time. Make sure you buy one of their vehicle upgrades before you leave, and just stay behind him and keep firing. You'll be able to avoid his mines pretty easily. And don't waste too much time taking a picture, because you'll have a much easier time of doing that later in the game. After you take care of the DomZ Serpent, you can go ahead and knock out the first Looter's Cavern. If you need help with any of the 4 Looter's Caverns, that corresponding trophy will be the first link in the description section, so check that out if you need help. Now, when you're going through the main corral heading to the Black Isles, you can go ahead and knock out Race 1 and Race 2 if you want to. By finishing first in both races, not only do you get a Pearl, but you get 1,000 units for each race. If you beat the record for each race, you get an additional 500 units for each race. And those extra units may come in handy when you head to the Pedestrian district after the Black Isles for some shopping. If you need help with any of the races, that related trophy will be the second link in the description section. You should get a Pearl for rolls 2 and 3 in the Black Isles, as there's a lot of animals to photograph in there. If you need help with any animal in the game, the Wildlife Photographer trophy will be the third link in the description section. I've included all the animals in the game simply because if you're doing this trophy, you're probably doing the Data Manager trophy as well. And all the animals are needed for that trophy, as you need that for one of the M discs. This Pearl is unmissable, as you'll have to pick it up to progress out of the Black Isles. Just remember to use Paige's jet boots to stun the creature so Jade can get in some hits on him. You should get a Pearl from your 4th roll of film on your first trip to the Pedestrian district from the Black Isles, as there is a lot of animals to photograph in that area. On your first visit to the Akuda bar, you'll see a shark playing a Pallet game. Upon conversing with him, you'll find out that you can challenge him for that Pearl on top of his head. If you need help with the Pallet game, I've included that related trophy. It's the 4th link in the description section. Now, truthfully, you can get pretty close to the table downstairs and still get a good look at the code that way too. When you leave the Akuda bar for the first time, if you go down here to her shop, you will find 1 Pearl. But if you go to Mama Goes to buy the neutralizing cannon after leaving the Akuda bar and come back here, she will have 2 Pearls to sell. Just make sure you go to Ming-Tzu's and see what she has for sale before you buy both of them here. Now, I'm getting these 2 Pearls just for the video, but peruse every item in her workshop because there's a lot of good stuff in here. There's a vehicle upgrade for your hovercraft. There's an extra PA1 heart. There's an animal and Pearl detector. So there may be some items that you want first. The Pearls you'll be able to get the Pearls here until you leave for space. You will be able to access this area when you get your first key card from the Iris Den, and no key card is needed to enter the building. So you can knock this out before you go to the Nutripils factory. When you go to Mama Goes to get the neutralizing cannon for your hovercraft, you can go ahead and knock out the Vorax's lair if you want to, as it's directly behind it on the beach to the left. As long as you have Paige's wrench with you, it won't be a problem getting in. En route to the Nutripils factory, you can go ahead and knock out the second Looter's Cavern in this location right here. It'll be a step up from the first one, so make sure you have a few speed boosts in inventory just in case. There'll be a rat ready to attack as soon as you open this door to where the pearl is, so be ready with a kick, even if you can't see him. You won't be able to get a code for the locker until you take the picture of Double H in the containment unit.
Nutripils factory. It should work. Be careful.
Bravo.
Now, probably the most ideal time to get this pearl is when you're leaving the Nutripils factory and you will have a new person in your party. And even though they will be in trouble, you'll still have plenty of time to get the pearl and still get out of the Nutripils factory and back to the Iristan. And while you're in the Nutripils factory, if you're keeping up with all your animal pictures, you should knock out roll of film number 5 and your next pearl in here. Eventually Double H will show up to help you. When you both take out a leg at the same time, the door will open up and you can hit his pearl in the middle. If you're fast enough, you can hit it twice before the door closes back, and then afterwards the pearl will be waiting right in the middle of the exit.
This is for you. It'll come in handy in the future.
And once you get the triangle key from the Nutripils factory, you can go in this Alpha Section territory. This one's one of the harder ones, so if you need any help with this one, the Alpha Sectioned Out trophy will be the 5th link in the description section. So check that out if you're having trouble with any of the Alpha Section territories around the Pedestrian District. Now you can talk to this guy and get his code on your first trip to the Akuda bar, but you won't be able to get past the door that the pearl is in until you get the square key card, which you will get at the Nutripils factory.
The traitors from the Iris wish to destroy us completely. They have attempted. Wish to destroy us.
Yes, sir.
Now this is another one you won't have access to until after the Nutripils factory because you will need Double H to get through the bars. After leaving the Alpha Section warehouse, you can go ahead and go out the other side of the main corral and take care of this Alpha Section territory as well, since you have the square key card which will be needed for entry. And after you get the jump kit from Mama Goes, go back into the main corral and jump the laser barrier. If you have the pearl detector, you'll be able to see that there is a pearl in a box in this little maze-like area here. Now before you go into the Slaughterhouse area, you can go ahead and knock out Looter's Caverns 3 and 4 here. Just make sure you have a few speed boosts for both of these areas, especially the last one, because it's a lot easier to hit a mine. Now, before you've tried to look for the hidden entrance to the Slaughterhouse in Race 3, you can go ahead and knock out Races 3 and 4 here to get their pearls and some extra units if you need them to possibly buy items back at the shops or cosmetic items if you want to.
Okay,
You should knock out roll of film number 6 in the Slaughterhouse area. This will be the last roll of film you get a pearl for. The next one after this will be an M disc for the Data Manager trophy. You'll have 2 electrical barriers guarding this trophy, so you'll have to hit 2 in here before you're able to access this pearl. Now as you're going through the door to this area, make sure you're already crouch walking, because in some areas they can hear you from pretty far away. And then don't forget that doing the roll while crouched will enable you to get by them quicker and they won't be able to hear you. Now the green tubes here, you can actually use those for cover because the guard won't see you as long as it's between you. And the glass that you're walking next to the left, a guard can actually be in front of you and you're standing in front of that and they won't see you. However, be careful picking up the crates because they will hear you bust those open. You'll encounter another sea serpent when you leave the Slaughterhouse. As soon as you beat him, you'll get his pearl. There's 2 strategies here. You can let him come to you, and then when he's about to charge you, get out of the way and attack him that way. Or you can chase him around the map. But he will challenge you as far as your ability to attack him and to dodge the laser barriers. Just make sure you bring a few health power-ups, because as you can see from my little goof up, it's really easy to make a mistake. As soon as you leave the Slaughterhouse area, you'll get a message from Francis about a redemption match. So before you check in with the Iris Den, you can relieve him of his second pearl. Now some areas I left out a lot of stuff, like the Alpha Section stages, the Looter's Caverns, and the Racing stages, simply because I've already got corresponding trophies for those areas anyway, and I try to keep my videos as short as possible. And I didn't want this video to turn into a 30-minute to 1-hour video. And I tried to leave enough video in there to get the particular pearl in question. So hopefully that will help you out. And I'm going to eventually try to segment everything in the description section so that will hopefully help you find the pearl or pearls you might be missing. Now Ming-Tzu will have a 3rd pearl in here for you to purchase, so check back before you leave for space, because once you leave for space you will not be able to backtrack to Hillis for anything. When you get your ship up in the air, you will face another DomZ Serpent. He will try to fire missiles at you in an upward semicircle. Just make sure you're flying down and away from those, and you should be able to take care of him pretty easily. And after you take care of the DomZ Serpent, head your way to the Volcano here, and you'll go inside and find a nest of Crocsheks and relieve them of all of their pearls. There should be 12 pearls total in here for you to get.
Carlson and Peters! Look out, Miss Jade! They're sending in backup! From all directions! If we get out of this alive, we can find a stellar motor! Respect the home team, chapter 12.
And after you take out the last Crowsheks and gather up all 5 pearls, you'll get a text from Mama Go, Trophy Pops, and that's all there is to it. And I will see you next time.